Hello students, I'm going to give you a little tutorial on the project we're about to start here. So we'll go over this really quickly and a few things you should know before you begin. So we are going to start our summer road trip project here. For this trip, we're going to be choosing some cities to travel to as a group that you can determine for your road trip. So you're going to choose 5 cities to travel to, and we're going to use some math calculations to calculate really the cost of the whole trip. So today we're just going to talk a bit about part 1 here, okay? So part 1, planning your trip. So our first part is to kind of think of 5 cities that you'd like to travel to. So this is something you guys can talk about together in a bit. Choosing 5 cities and 5 things you might want to see in those cities. You can just list those in any order there. Then we're going to mark those on our map with a star. So let's say I'll just choose one for our demonstration here. Let's say I choose Denver, Colorado. Okay, and we're going to go see the Rocky Mountains, specifically Rocky Mountain National Park. Okay, so for our trip, we're going to look here at our map. We're going to mark all those cities. So I'm going to go ahead and mark with a star in Colorado, Denver, Colorado right there. Okay, and we're going to be starting here from Evergreen Park, which is basically Chicago here. All right, so step number 2 says once we have marked these out, we're going to draw a straight line between these cities. So we take a trusty ruler and we do just that from Denver to Chicago. We're going to draw a straight line. And then once it's drawn, we're going to try to calculate the distance of that line. Okay, and in doing so, we're going to calculate the length of travel. So it says on here that we need to measure our distance between our 2 cities, between all 5, and rounding it to the nearest quarter of an inch. Okay. So you'll notice on the ruler here, I have another ruler for demonstration purposes as well. Of course, the inches are marked like so. Okay. Halfway between those, the halfway mark, and then quarter is right there. So we have a quarter inch there, half, quarter, right? So those are all marked there, so hopefully we can see that pretty clearly. So again, half, right between half and a 0 is going to be our quarter, and between half and a whole, we have 3/4, okay? So that's the first part to see there. Also notice with our ruler, the edge of the ruler does not begin in 0 inches. We start right here with 0 inches. So when we're measuring, we want to start putting that right up there, and then we can line it up. So if you notice for this one here, if we start at 0 inches at Denver there, it looks like we get basically 3 1/4 or 3 1/4 inches between Denver and Chicago. Okay, so again, we see from 0 to right there, 3 1/4 inches. We could write that as you go from Evergreen Park to Denver, Colorado for our first leg of the trip. We say that is 3 1/4 inches. We can also, for multiplication purposes later, would make it easier to say 3.25 inches. Okay, great. So once we have that, we're going to be able to do some more calculations here. We will look at the scale of our map, which is right there, and use our ruler to determine what 1 inch is equal to. Once we have that, we can figure out the mileage that we would travel from Chicago here to Denver. All right, once you figure out all 5 of your cities, you'll find that total distance there. And when you complete all these first 3 pages, you'll have finished part 1 of the project. Okay, so if you have questions, you can ask, but I think at this point you should be able to go ahead and begin the process. All right, good luck.